Okay guys, welcome back to the Blender tutorials. So what I'm going to do today is make a glass table with some gold trimmings on there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the default cube. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and switch out your Eevee to cycles. And then we're going to go ahead, let's add, and I'm going to go with circle. I'm just going to scale this out right here. Let's go G, bring this up. And what I'm going to do, let's go to edit mode, F for fill, E for extrude. And I'm just going to go ahead, scale this out just at the sides right here. And then E for extrude, and then I'm going to kind of bring it in just as such. E for extrude again, scale this in. Just as so. So we're going to get rid of this top face right here. So let's delete this top face. And then we'll get rid of this bottom face as well. So delete this one. And we're going to press A to select everything. E for extrude. And then S to scale. So now we've got this kind of inner and outer kind of part. So we're just going to scale this down just a little bit as well. So this is going to be where the glass sits. And then we've got this nice little bevel going around the outside. So let's go ahead and shade smooth. I'm going to go ahead and add. Let's go with another circle again. Press G just to bring it up. And you're going to want to get this onto side view and then X-ray. So you can see what you're doing here. So we'll press G. Just going to bring this down. And I'm going to scale it so that it sits right in the middle, just about there. And then we're going to go into edit mode. Let's press F for fill, E for extrude, and you just want to make kind of like a glass plane. And then press A for selecting everything, and then we're just going to move this up just ever so slightly in the middle. So let's go ahead and just make some adjustments to the top face right here. Let's just scale this in just ever so slightly so that it kind of molds to the edge of the glass right here. We'll go ahead and just press G, bring that up. E for extrude again. And then E for extrude again, and just like curve it inwards at the bottom. So you've got that nice little bevel going around the outside. So with this one, we're going to need glass texture. So let's go ahead with the new tab right here on materials. Move that microphone a little bit closer. Let's go Principled BSDF to glass BSDF. Take down that roughness so we've got that nice mirror. And then on the outside right here where we've got the circle, we're going to go new and we're going to make a gold. So you can go ahead and make a gold manually with the metal if you want to, or alternatively you can go with Principled BSDF and then change it to metallic BSDF. You can go ahead and turn down that roughness, up that roughness, whatever you need, and then you've got an edge tint as well if you need that too. So maybe we'll go with an edge tint of kind of like a yellowy orange. Okay, so once you've got that, it should look something like this. Obviously we've not got anything underneath it at the moment, so we can't really see how the glass is working. So let's go ahead and add a plane, scale it out. And now you should be able to see the glass a little better. Now, I think the IOR is off a little bit, so I'm just going to go ahead, just make an amendment with that. You want to be able to see the reflection right here, and you want to be able to see through it. So let's go ahead and just amend that. So you should have something like this. You can also rough this up if you wanted to. Just ever so slightly. I think we're going to see more of this glass as we build our design. I think that should be fine, to be honest with you. Right, okay, so the next thing that we want to do, let's go on to the regular render right here. And I'm going to put some legs on this. So let's go with add. And we can do a circle again. Let's go G, bring it up, maybe about midway. So just one to go midway right there. Press G. Bring that up. And then we're going to go with edit mode. Press F for fill. E for extrude. Scale it outward slightly. And then we'll go E for extrude again, E for extrude. And then we're just going to slowly just pull this in just to make a little ring. And do the same to the top. So we're going to get rid of the face at the bottom right here. And then we'll get rid of the face at the top right here. Press A to select everything. E for extrude. Leave it where it is. Scale it in. So we've got that nice little ring coming through again. Okay, so once we've got this, let's go ahead, shade this smooth. And you go to the drop down right here and select the gold that you've just made. So you should have materials, this little world kind of symbol right here. Drop down. And then you've got the gold. Okay, so the next one that we're doing is let's add. Let's go with UV cylinder. Cylinder even. Scale this down. Press G. Bring it up. So about the side of your table right there. I'm just going to go to side view again. Let's go G. Bring this to the side. Scale this in. And then I'm just going to press G on this side. Make sure that it's just interacting with the metal on this side and nothing's coming off the edge. So let's go ahead and just scale it down a little bit more. Move it over. Maybe you could like push it through the base a little bit. Okay, so once we've got this, I'm going to shade it smooth. I'm going to go ahead and add that gold material to it again. Let's go into edit mode and I'm going to press, let's select the base face right here. We're going to go 1 for side view. And we're going to go E for extrude. G to bring it across just a little bit. E for extrude. And then G to bring it across a little bit. And you're just essentially just making like a little pipe coming across to this cross section. So you can have this any way that you want to. You can move the vertices in certain ways if you want to. Totally up to you. Just make sure that it hits the ring at the bottom. As such. And then we're going to go E for extrude. Go straight through that ring. And adjust as needed. Come through the bottom of the ring there. And then all we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead, go down. It depends how tall you want your table, really. But go from here. And then just kind of go outwards. Go to the red line right there if you wanted to. And then we can go E for extrude and just kind of make a little fancy thing at the bottom. So you could have something like that, yeah? So, once you've done that, it should look something like this. It's kind of like a bar that's just bent through this loop right here, and then you've got this bit at the bottom. Right click, shade smooth if you've not already. We're going to go ahead and take this, Shift D. Oops. Why not Shift D in? Let's press G. Okay, that was really weird. It didn't Shift D. Shift D. Come on. There we go. Alright, so just put it onto the opposite side. We're going to go ahead and rotate this on the Z-axis by 180. Let's press G, move this across. Just make sure that it lines up. I think that's pretty good. Did I move this up just slightly? It looks like I moved it up just ever so slightly. Yeah, okay, so that corner's got to be on the red there. For some reason it's decided to drop down. Yeah, that should be roughly right. So now, let's see, the position of that should be the table. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's go with regular render just for one second so that we can get this working correctly. So, let's go Shift D again. And then we go for R for rotates. Let's go for 90 degrees. And that should be our table. So, the glass that we had before was a little bit rooky, actually. So if you look at the glass right here, we could amend this. Take the roughness down a little bit. And then pull that IOR up just a little bit. I think a little IOR would be great for this table. And maybe a little bit of frosty glass. Just to kind of pull that in a little bit. Just going to adjust this IOR just ever so slightly. So that we've got that nice frosted glass, but we can just kind of pull it a little bit so you can see that the glass is there. But it's not totally see-through. Let's go with G just to bring this lighting up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and just turn up the exposure. See, the more frosted the glass is, the more that the shadow, it should darken, in theory. I mean, you can see some of the refraction there coming from the metal and stuff, and the light is coming through there. But it's totally up to you how you want this, whether you want it really rough or you want it just kind of see-through. I think I'm going to go roughly about there. So you can kind of see through, but it's frosted at the same time. So yeah, guess that's the tutorial for today. I'm just going to press G and just bring this down. There you go. So now you can see the legs of the table. The little shine from the copper on there, the little gold. Yeah, I like that. So if you like this tutorial, like, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and enjoy what you're doing. See you later.